It's time for another quick take, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are again, number 20 for the greatest of all time, Roger Federer. He defeats Marin Cilic in 5 sets, 6-2, 7-6, 6-3, 3-6, 6-1 is your final. So much to unpack in this match. A strange match, not the greatest match I've ever seen. All in all, I think that obviously, Roger Federer, you saw how emotional he was after the match. He's going to be elated with his accomplishment, but I don't think either player will watch this match back again, if they even do watch it back again, and will say that they performed well. I don't think either player will say that. So I don't know. I guess I'll get right into it. I won't bury the lead. I'll start with the fifth set, and then I'll go back. So, in the fifth, Cilic had the momentum, coming off the fourth set win. And I think that there was one game in this match where both players were firing on all cylinders, playing their best tennis. One game in the match where both players were playing their best tennis, and that was the first game of the fifth set. Quality game. Federer serving well, Cilic returning well. Had a couple of hard-fought baseline rallies. Cilic had some break points. Federer saved them though and came away with the game. So that game turned out to be the most important game of the match because Federer basically in the second game, Cilic double faulted at least twice, I believe. I think he double faulted twice in the second game. Obviously you can't do that. You're going to get broken if you double fault twice in a game, more often than not. So after that hard-fought first game, Cilic kind of, gives away the break, and then Federer has another hard-fought hold. So to that point in the fifth set, it was kind of close. And then, Cilic, who has not been dynamite in the mental department, or was not, I should say, in this match, he sort of gave up hope. And Roger Federer this time, I think the crowd helped him stay fully engaged in closing out Cilic. He ended up getting a second break and winning the fifth set 6-1. So that's how it ended. But let's rewind to the first set because I think that there was a lot going on. Like I said, a lot to unpack. So the first set was a lot like the fifth, actually, I should say. So in the first, Federer was so sharp. Sharp as I don't even know. What's a good metaphor? Sharp as a samurai sword. Federer was came out of the gates super sharp, very, very short points in the first set. Extremely short points. And Cilic, very, very nervy and very, flustered and frustrated again. So, it was a situation where in the first game, basically, Cilic missed an overhead, and Federer got the break, and got completely psyched out, and was very reserved, but also all of the nerves and all of his frustrations came out in his game. If you're Marin Cilic, you need to have a system. You need to have something in place, something that you do that helps you, get rid of your nerves and your tension. There was tons of tension in Marin Cilic's game. If you look at Andy Murray will literally yell at the top of his lungs. Novak Djokovic, if he really feels like he needs that release, he will smash a racket. Rafa Nadal will start fist pumping after every point he wins. There are methods that you use on the tennis court to get yourself out of these ruts. And for Cilic, it seems like he just kind of keeps it inside, holds it in there. Fortunately for Cilic, Federer wins the first set easily 6-2. After that missed overhead by Cilic, Federer wins the next 8 points. Cilic completely shelled up. But in the second set, at the start of the second set at least, Federer did not, his level completely took a dip. His level totally dropped. Everything I'm about to say applies for Federer for the second, third, and fourth set. Federer was too passive in this match. He did not mix it up enough in this match. For some reason, he was not as creative as he usually is. You did not see a lot of serve volley. You did not see a lot of chip and charge return. One thing you saw was him take the second serve early on the backhand. The backhand return was good, but the backhand wasn't. It was very interesting. He just didn't do a lot with that shot. He kind of just he traded it back. He mixed up chip and topspin, but I don't think the chip is particularly effective against Cilic. Cilic is tall, but it doesn't really seem to bother him at all. In fact, all it does is gives him more time to run around and hit a forehand. That's all it does. And on the other side of the net, Cilic, his backhand was pretty much inconsistent and problematic for him for 5 sets. The entire match, Cilic made too many backhand errors. He made way too many errors in this match. Way too many errors. So as you can see, I'm kind of, most of what I've said about the match is sort of negative by both players. For Federer, I'll say, so Cilic won the second set. On set point, let me see. Set point, Cilic tight, netted backhand. Oh, yeah, Cilic got a set point early in the second, but tightened up on that backhand. Like I said, the backhand wasn't good. And then he got himself out of that game. Or I don't know what my notes say there. Anyway, let's go to the third set, where Federer gets the break off of kind of a loose game by Cilic, and what keeps Federer in the third set, or I should say what wins him the third set, is his first serve was awesome. His first serve was really good in the second set as well. Federer didn't get broken until the fourth set, and that was largely in part to how good Federer's first serve was. And once again, Cilic consistently making backhand errors. Then in the fourth set, it looks like, okay, this is what the match looks like. Federer played a really good first set, and then because of what was going on with Cilic on the other side of the court, and this normally Federer is better than this, Federer is just too passive, kind of waiting for Cilic to self-implode, and it doesn't happen. And as a result, Federer doesn't play well, only does enough to hold serve in the second, loses the tiebreak, and then kind of wins the third set because, Cilic isn't playing very well either. And then in the beginning of the fourth set, Federer starts mixing things up and playing how I think he should from the baseline, and coming to the net more. We did not see Federer at the net enough in this match, but Federer finally doing those things really well. And the serve goes. That's why I'm saying this was a weird match. There were a lot of things, this is going well, all of a sudden it's not going well. But now the other thing's going well. That's the kind of match it was. Federer starts mixing things up. He goes up a break in the fourth set, and it's looking like the match is over. He has a break point in the fourth set to go up 2 breaks. 2 breaks. But Cilic saves that break point, breaks Federer back, and then the serve is awful for the rest of the set. So Federer loses that fourth set because the serve is gone. And then I already, talked about how things went down in the fifth set. So if you zoom out a little, I think Federer played well in the first set, and he played well in the fifth set. I thought Cilic really only played well at the end of the fourth set. So he was down a break, and he came back, and I thought he played really well at the end of the fourth set. The second set, I just thought it was low-level tennis where, the serving was good, so both players held, but that was all we had. So that's how I feel about the match. But, not to take anything away from the accomplishment, because the accomplishment is incredible. The match wasn't incredible, but standing alone. But for Federer to be 36, you just look at that number. That number's incredible. The 3 and the 6 and the Australian Open champion, these things normally just don't go together. They don't go together. So, Federer, for him to still be doing this, the accomplishment's incredible. The movement he really turned up in the fifth set. And I think it was understandable why it wasn't Federer's best performance. It was because Cilic was so, so unpredictable on the other side of the net. The whole racket situation was crazy. Cilic needs to shore up some of these things. He needs to focus on the match. I don't know what happened with I guess hopefully they'll ask him in the press conference. I don't know what was happening with Marin Cilic's rackets. He was getting his rackets restrung. They would come back, then he'd send them back. He wouldn't even open the rackets. I don't know what was going on there. But I think Federer was kind of waiting for Cilic to self-implode, and it didn't happen. To Cilic's credit, Cilic stayed in there and fought really, really hard. But, since Federer was kind of just, I think, hoping that Cilic would hand it to him until the fifth set where Federer really turned it on again, Federer's level just wasn't as high as it could have been, just because of the way he was playing. But I guess I'll just end it on this. Congratulations to Roger Federer. I really enjoyed, the Australians Open hard for me. I don't know if you can see how tired I am. I'm getting like no sleep right now because of this tournament. This is how it is, the Australian Open here in New York. But I've really enjoyed providing the content for you, and I appreciate all the support that I get from you guys. Seriously, it means so much to me. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.